So this is my performance journal for would have been the start of January before I did my motor skills test. So this was our introduction to riding. I never really got any footage of us working on the ground, but so she's developed all of her good behavioural habits by this stage, and so it's just putting all of those things into practice. She knows how to move away from pressure on the ground when I'm working with her, and it's just progressing to me being on top of her and asking for those aids. So yep, this session I actually went for a hour-long farm ride around, just for confidence and just to experience new things and new feelings and get them used to focusing on me while in a new environment. It's quite can be testing for some young horses, but she's been really coping with it well. Out of the 11 rides that I've done on her so far, this is our first schooling session. She has 8 of those rides she's been taken out and done something somewhere else. So really cool that I'm already taking her out and things like that. Her schooling isn't up to scratch, but I'm just going to talk you through this this first session that we did and tell you what I'm trying to achieve in this 3-minute video. Okay, so if you press play right now, you'll see that she's just walking down the line here, and all I'm trying to do here is just get a nice even rhythm in her walk before I ask her to trot. And she's got her head down, so I ask her to trot. And sometimes they'll just flick their head up, and this is really because they're not very balanced at this age. She's only 3 and she's never been schooled before, so I'm not worrying about her head being in a particular position. That will come later on. All I'm asking here is for a nice even rhythm, and that looks really nice. And then she starts to slow down up here, yeah, right there, and I just give her a little nudge with my legs. It's quite an obvious nudge at this stage. You make your aids really big and clear, and then you'll slowly minimize them to smaller aid. And I just took her over those poles because as I was going down, when she slowed down in that trot, she wasn't really focusing on me, she was focusing on everything else around her. And so just doing little things like that will just bring her back to, oh yep, I've really got to pay attention to what we're doing, not what's happening outside of what we're doing. So it's really important to develop a nice even rhythm. This just helps with building correct muscle, and it's just good to know that you have that control. She just tries to stop there, and I say, hey, I'm the boss here, not you. You don't choose when you stop. She's just anticipating starting to get into riding and anticipating the pole work and when she wants to stop and stuff. But it's just those little things where when they're young and they start to do things like that, you've really got to pick up on them quite fast, otherwise they'll turn into a habit. So yeah, we don't want to have a horse have her, once they start jumping a bit bigger, stop straight after the jump. No, not in a show jumping round, because we want her to go forward the whole time. So here I'm actually just trying to teach her something here, and I'm just putting my pressure on. If we're looking at the screen, it's the right side, and I'm putting my leg on, and I'm saying, hey, I'm almost trying to push her over with my leg. I just want her to take a step to the left if we're looking at the horse. And she doesn't get it. She's walking backwards. She's like, what is going on here? And then I'm not actually doing anything here. I'm like, why are you going backwards? I said woo, and I get a bit grumpy because come on, get up. Because she's getting a little bit frustrated and confused. So I just want to take a step to the right because I've got my pressure on the left. No, that was back. So I just let my leg, hey, listen up. You know how to do this. Good. And she takes that step to the left. So that's really what I was looking for. When I put the pressure on, that's how I want to maneuver her body around. And it is hard when they're young, but it's an exercise that you do every day, and then eventually they'll just click. So I'm just putting on pressure on if we're looking at me, my left side, and I just wanted her to take that step to the right, which she did, and then we're off walking again. Still just focusing on rhythm. This is a really important part of show jumping, is having consistency, because if you don't have that consistency, it's really hard to it's really hard to find the right spot in the fence, and that's when you'll start to jump short, jump long, take rails because of that. You really want to develop these small things are just so important when you first start out. So that was just a little bit of what we did in that session. It's not intense at all. It is mentally probably quite testing for her, just trying to focus. What are you asking of me? She was getting quite confused and flustered in that last exercise, but it's just consistency, doing it every day, even if it's just for a minute, just making her move away from that pressure, because once you start riding those big classes, you want to be able to have a really adjustable horse around the course, flexible, balanced, and it's just all those little exercises that are going to help develop her into being a really successful sport horse. So yeah, that was our session. We've got another session that I'm going to upload. It wasn't as long for when I took her out to do a pole exercise after this, so I'll upload that as my next training.